In all honesty, do you really want to know what rhymes with reason? The answer is nothing. Nothing rhymes with reason. Chase Liaki here with the Blue Futon reviewing What Rhymes with Reason, which is about a pretty simple premise. A brother and sister has gone through a horrific event, and now they found something in a cupboard, and it's a trail in Oklahoma, and they got to go up to this peak and watch a meteor shower within 3 days at 8:23 p.m. Can they make it in time? Will they make friends? Will friends disappear? What will they find out on this journey? So, like this film, this was a very well-made, low-budget film. Yes, you could say there were some green screen elements that weren't the greatest, and there are movies like this where I just wish they would do like on a soundstage or just out in the open where you don't have that weird, green screen transition, which is understandable, but I just wish more people would just use what they have in the environment instead of a soundstage. But this movie is about suicide, mental health. What do teenagers go through? What do adults go through? Is it really your time? What is your plan? Why do you need to stay on this earth? And all these different messages into one. Anxiety, trust, control. There's a lot of themes in this movie. And while I thought it did a really, really good job exploring these themes, it had a good runtime, good characters. Yes, I could say that some of these actors felt like they're a little bit older than high school, which they are. And so there was a little bit of disbelief there, as well as this prom scene, which, band. I'm just doing very superficial stuff right now. The band is playing a song. You could tell the drums and or piano aren't on the same tunes as what is on screen, but that's okay. But this movie does what it's supposed to do. It hit the marks on mental health, on suicide, and what people can go through. But then looking at the movie as a whole, I think the actors do a great job. I think the writing is very simplistic enough and cheesy enough to have like an adult Goonies religious-esque vibe. And that's what even the writer and director said after the credits. It's supposed to be kind of a cheesy, just silliness to it. And it does work. Like I said, there is some religious elements to it. It's not preachy whatsoever. It's just more of, there's a preacher's son who's like, yo, even though I'm part of a preacher family and people expect me to be part of that, lifeline or family tree, that's not part of me. Then you have like an anger management person, and all these people have some, just, I want to say harm to them, or just bottled up anger or issues that need to explode. And I think it does a good job exploring this. Kind of like I said, though, in my first reaction, and everyone's saying, oh, I've had anxiety when I was younger, anxiety. I always wonder what anxiety really is for some people, because some people, let's be honest, haven't really had true harm, and to them, their anxiety of, saying really the wrong pronouns and then just start busting out crying. And if that is really your anxiety of someone saying like he, him, or she, her, to me, that's not anxiety. That's just you having a personal problem that you need to fix. And people might say that's mental illness. It could be. To me, anxiety, people like truly having panic attacks, truly having something wrong with them, or going through some traumatic PTSD of event, like, death in the family, seeing death, murdering someone to save your own life, seeing murder, like being part of stuff like that. That to me is anxiety, not, words hurting. The reason I say that because I have witnessed that, literally watched my sister die. So that's been a horrible event that has happened with me. And I was kind of shielded from it because I was at college while the cancer was being a horrific, thing for 3 years. And then my mom and, would say some stuff afterwards. And I always kind of get mad when suicide was brought up, and, or, people would be like, I just can't get out of bed for 2 weeks at a time, 3 weeks at a time. And to me, I would say I was shielded, so I got the less blunt force of it. But then I had a different approach to it, saying I will not fail. I will not, disappoint people. Like I said, some people just have different, life experience. They expect something to occur. And I think that's what this movie does, is you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You don't know if you say yes or no, maybe so, what's going to occur. And I know with what's happening in the world right now, some people might be anxious with, the Palestine, Israeli, the Ukraine, Russia, Taiwan, China going to South American countries. You can say India, China, even though their border, the borderlands there, Iran, the Hamas. It's just a lot of shit going on, and you're just like, what am I going to do? What is tomorrow going to bring? Because then you also see all these videos of, just stuff happening in Germany and, people in New York protesting, basically celebrating children dying, celebrating babies getting their heads chopped off. And you're just like, what the hell? Like, even some of our politicians, like the squad, won't even, like, condemn babies dying. Like, they refuse to even say that's bad. So you're just like, what are we doing? And it's the double standards of, like, if, President Trump back in the day didn't say, like, would be like, I condemn this. But since it's one of the squad members, it's like a free fucking pass. So, yes, I can understand anxiety. Like, even me, sometimes I don't even watch the news anymore because of that anxiety of, like, I want to say, no, anxiety of, like, oh, my God, but am I anxious and anxiety-ridden? No. It's just that my personality of, like, well, we'll see what happens tomorrow and the next day and the next day, because that's how I usually live. That's why I took a break. If you notice, there was a cut because when my friends called from Vegas just to talk about just how crazy the world's going. But, yeah, with the whole suicide, that would always make me mad. And I was like, that's weak. Don't do it. But I have seen suicide at my college and squadrons and things like that. So I don't know what people go through in their mind, as well as, sitting in their bed for a week. I always get mad sometimes when my family members be like, just get up out of bed, do something. And this movie does, bring that dialogue to the forefront of, like, yo, it happens to a lot of people. Maybe it is real. People need to, try to live life. And that's what I've been trying to do with other people as well. Like, hey, let's go out. Let's do this. But then also you don't want to force it on people. Sometimes you'd be like, hey, if you need the weekend to yourself, it's okay. And I know some people, we try to say, like, oh, let's try to stop suicide. But here's the thing. It's hard to stop people's thoughts. And I think where the thought police are, we're in this unconscious bias bullshit, in my opinion, where it's like, oh, we need to stop what you are about to think. Or even though you might not be thinking about this, you're unconsciously thinking it. I don't believe that whatsoever. You don't know what's going on in my mind, and you don't think that you could just randomly know that. So this might not be such a review about a movie, but just what people might be going through, and just talk to someone. I mean, I have my email address down below. I'm willing to talk to anyone out there to be like, yo, if you need someone to talk to, talk it out. Call the 988 hotline. Talk to a random stranger like me. Email me if you have any questions, concerns about life, because I don't want you to die. I want you to have a fruitful life. And hopefully, if anyone watches this video and be like, yeah, maybe I don't need to die. Maybe everything will be okay. I hope I could bring that light to anyone. But anyway, as this movie goes, what rhymes with reason? I think the rhyming is nothing, because reason is different for everyone else. And like I said, reach out to people and try to do your best just to be a good person. And there's always going to be hate, but why are you hating? Why are you holding that grudge? Just look in the mirror and think, is that really needed? So what rhymes with reason will receive a 4.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 90%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So there's nothing with the critics and nothing with the audience score. It's kind of funny. It says, I think, in the, movie info, it says channeling teen classics like The Breakfast Club and Goonies. I saw the Goonies kind of aspect, Breakfast Club, maybe, with more of like a religious aspect to it, but I do think this is a solid movie. I know it's a one-night only event. It was me and 4 other girls in the movie theater. So, I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to watch this one, but it is worth your time if you want to find a movie about life. 90%. Chase Locke here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things Futontopia. You Blue Futon think about a great day. And I don't care what you say tomorrow, week from now, month from now, year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. And just do good. Be a good person. That's all I can ask.